Previously on Adequately Advanced Magic.
You arrive at the very last page, and in shorthand, you see there's like some notes for taking over the business plaza. The notes detail a plan to use elemental weapons to conduct a, quote, training exercise at the business plaza to be signed off by Florencio, who appears to be the very obvious scapegoat of anything bad that happens, which include any potential civilian casualties.
Is there anything about when this plan was to be executed?
Yeah, you take a look, and it's a casual 30 minutes from now.
Seirys is going to curb stomp the space where the ice particles are writhing around, and she's going to say, "The power of me compels you." Seirys closes her eyes and does a quick prayer to Tamara, and at the end of it she says, "Rest in peace, Valerie." And then she turns to her two compatriots and says, "I think we gotta get out of here."
Welcome to Falcon's Reach, a city in which magic is technology. You're listening to Adequately Advanced Magic.
We see Officer Udai at Precinct 32. He's sitting behind his front desk, minding his own business. A few seconds later, a delivery man comes in, and he drops off a package. Curious, Officer Udai opens it up, and inside is a cheesecake. He shrugs in confusion, and then he pulls out some cutlery, and he cuts himself a slice. We cut to a shot of Detective Oliver. He's just sleeping at his desk. In the background, we can see Officer Udai at his desk, and then it's like sort of like the bokeh, like it's all blurry in the background.
Very stylized.
Yeah, we see Officer Udai like suddenly start choking on something, and he's just like floundering around in the back, but like nobody notices, especially Detective Oliver.
Especially Detective Oliver.
Yeah. He's extra asleep.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Finally, somebody comes in from the front door and like realizes that Officer Udai is choking, and then like we see all this in like blurry bokeh. Like someone runs up to him and does like the Heimlich like a couple of times. We see Officer Udai cough up something, and then a bunch of police officers run over and they're like, "Sir, you are assaulting a police officer. Get on the ground."
Oh no!
To this random like stranger, and we see a close up of the cheesecake.
That's not cheese.
It's not cheese, and it's not cake. There's a piece of magitech.
Ew.
And a note written in very flowery, beautiful handwriting. And then we cut to the inside of Virginia and Galazar's levitating SUV. We see Virginia is very visibly anxious. Meanwhile, Galazar is keeping his cool a little bit better, but you wonder if this is just because he never says anything. And then we cut to the three of you in the back. The car ride is long enough if you want a short rest.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Now I need to do the fun game mechanic part of short resting.
I assume we don't have those temporary hit points anymore.
We should have the Heroes Feast still. That's like a 24-hour thing.
Yeah, that lasts for
Okay.
quite a while, actually.
So we're still heroes.
Heroes who have feasted.
I'm assuming we explained everything to Virginia.
We can say you guys yada-yada'd all the details to Virginia and Galazar. Do you guys want to do anything in the car? Talk about anything? Think about anything?
I ask Virginia, or ask both of them, have either of you heard of this project Lenormand before?
Nailed it.
Did I actually?
Mm-hmm.
Virginia looks at Galazar, and they both like briefly turn around and look at you, and Virginia is just like, No, I never heard of it.
Joey, are they lying to me?
Go and do an insight check.
14.
Totally telling the truth.
Okay. I look at them slightly less suspiciously. Well, do you know anything about these elemental weapons that Valdivian is using?
Virginia says, yeah, I've heard of at least like one project where they've been trying to use elementals as, well, I don't know, weapons. Do you know what elementals are?
Of course I know what elementals are, but Hyrkir doesn't, so can you explain it to him?
Do I know what elementals are?
I sort of looked at
actually-
the sides sheepishly.
Do I know what elementals are?
Does the druid know what elementals are? I don't know.
Do you at home know what elementals are?
Find out on our special edition, Monsters and Creatures of D&D 5th edition.
Join us as we learn together.
Virginia explains that these are living forms of basic elements. So like air, earth, fire, and water that are native to elemental planes. And sometimes these things can be summoned or they just like bleed into this world.
Sometimes they land their elemental planes.
But what about their elemental tanks?
That's a different rule set.
You gotta pay extra for that.
You gotta buy the second rule.
24th edition.
24th edition. Nobody should be able to harness that kind of power. It's not right.
Hyrkir just whistles.
It's wrong.
Hyrkir been throwing fireballs all over the place, wielding a fire sword. It's fine.
Well, not like
no elemental magic over here.
not
Nope.
like using magic. I mean, like harnessing these creatures these very dangerous creatures that are not native
internal
to this
elemental
plane.
engines.
Yeah.
The levitating SUV pulls to a screeching halt outside the business plaza. Virginia immediately gets out of the car and runs towards several Valdivian suits who are standing nearby. She commences yelling at them. The suits are sort of like taken aback and they put their hands on their hip holsters, on their magic pistols, as she approaches. Meanwhile, Galazar heads to the back of the SUV and pops the trunk, and waves at the three of you to follow.
I follow.
We pop out.
Yes. I leap out.
In where normally in our world there would be like a tire well, he lifts it up and it's like the padded cushioning for weapons that are like cut out.
Ooh.
He pulls out some magitech, 3 healing words,
Ooh.
and hands it to Niclaus.
Yeah. Niclaus passes them along so that each person has one.
He also reloads his shotgun and he hands one of you guys a witch bolt module for the shotgun.
Ooh. Believe I have a shotgun. So I will take that unless somebody else wants the shotgun and the witch bolt.
Is the shotgun on you right now?
Oh, that's
Considering
true.
You just went to a party.
That's true. It's not on me right now, but I will take the magic tech for the shotgun if I can get up to where it is.
And Seirys, go and do a quick perception check.
12.
You notice that also in the secret weapons compartment that there is a warhammer.
Just like
But
an actual warhammer.
yeah, Galzar is like starting to like put away the lid to it though.
Galzar, I noticed you have a warhammer there, and well, part of my police training did cover warhammers, and I think I can make good use of it.
He signs to you. Oh, you want that old thing?
I mean, otherwise it's sitting here collecting dust, and I feel like it would be more useful now.
He shrugs. He lifts up the lid for you to take it.
Thank you for being a friend of justice, and I take it. I examine the weight of it and sort of test the feel.
It's perfectly balanced. Appears to be an antique.
Ooh. I'll treat this with care.
Galzar runs up to back up Virginia. And as the three of you approach sort of like the taped off mixed-use business plaza, you see that there's a couple of things going on. The business plaza itself is sort of like this U-shaped multi-story building with the stores on the first floor. The three of you are outside the gate. From your perspective, there's like the courtyard and then the back of the building, like the bottom part of the U.
Okay, so we're standing at like the open part of the U right now, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
And like the apartments where we live are at the back.
Yeah, and also on like the third floor.
Right.
As you approach, you see that Virginia is going full Karen on these bros.
Fucking bros, man.
Full carrot.
And as you peek inside at the plaza, you see that there's a couple of things going on. How about everybody do a perception check?
Ooh. That's a 15.
I got a 17.
I got a 10.
Seirys, you notice that there's something going on in the Souls Mart, something happening in the stairwell leading up to the second floor, and it seems like there's something going on the third floor as well. Hyrkir and Niclaus, the two of you guys roll a little bit higher. From the Souls Mart, you hear smashing. And you guys also see that that previously mentioned stairwell appears to be flooding for some reason. And somehow, Seirys missed this. There's bright flames coming from the third floor close to where your apartment is.
Okay. So we've got someone smashing up the Souls Mart. We've got a fire on the third floor. We've got flooding in the stairwell.
Wait, there's a fire on the third floor?
Yes? You can't see it?
Oh, I see it now.
What about the citizenry? Do we know if they were evacuated? Do we see any people?
It's still pre-dawn, so it's pretty dark. You don't really see anybody.
Well, they might be awakened from all the smashing and the burning and the flooding.
Joey, do we remember if there is a fire alarm system or something within the business plaza?
How about you do an Arcana check?
Is this building up to code?
Do a building code check.
That is a 7.
You do not recall. You're unsure.
When we get in there, let's try to keep an eye out for any sort of fire alarm or something like that we can pull to wake people up and get them out of here.
Okay.
Let's go to our apartment.
Okay, how armed are the Valdivian people that lie between us and the plaza?
They are carrying pistols, but they seem to be mostly distracted by Virginia and Galzar.
I say we just rush past them.
All right,
That
let's
sounds
do
good.
it. I begin rushing past them.
How long has it been since we had our last fight?
30, 40 minutes.
Okay. I still have bark skin for another 20 to 30 minutes.
Nice.
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 The three of you rush in.
Is the stairwell we have to go up got water pouring down it? Is that what this flooding means?
Yeah. The stairwell is farther in the back, like in one of the corners of the
Okay.
U. Meanwhile, the Solstice, the Souls Mart is located at the very tip.
But I thought we had to go up the stairwell to go to the third floor.
We go to the stairwell.
Right.
We hustle.
The three of you hustle over to the stairwell in one of the corners of the U, and as you begin to approach, you notice that it's very wet here. And above you, you hear some footsteps running down.
Niclaus rushes up the stairs.
Seirys charges after him.
Hyrkir moves quickly but carefully up the stairs.
Yeah. And the three of you almost bump into Rourke and Gobzu.
Gobsu, what's going on?
I don't know. There's there's something chasing us. From the top floor of the stairs, a drop of water falls onto Gobzu's face, and then a puddle appears on the ceiling underneath the stairs.
Uh-oh.
And then it gets bigger and bigger, and it turns into a humanoid shape.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And then it plops onto Rourke and Gobzu, and now the two of them are just like drowning, floating around in water.
Water elemental.
I attempt to fish them out with my hands.
While Seirys does that, Niclaus unspools his extra strength diamond braided rope and prepares to try to feed it into the pool to help pull them out.
Yeah, we're not going to go into combat for this one, just meta.
Okay.
Oh.
Seirys, go ahead and roll a strength check.
Will this be normal strength or like an athletics strength?
It can be athletics.
All right. I gotta get my friends. That is a 17.
Yeah, you reach in and you grab Rourke.
I hoist him out if I can.
Let's let Niclaus and Hyrkir do things.
Sounds good.
Niclaus, what are you doing?
Niclaus tosses the other end of the extra strength diamond braided rope into the water to try to pull Gobsu up. That's the other one, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll a dexterity check.
Dexterity. That'll be a 16.
Yeah, the diamond braided rope is somewhat heavy, and you just like chuck it straight into the water elemental. And it just sort of like floats around in there. Meanwhile, Gobs is sort of like floating around trying to like swim towards it, like somewhat ineffectively. Hyrkir, what are you doing?
Having seen that Niclaus's rope has been ineffective, Hyrkir will try and grab Gobzu out of the water.
Yeah, go and roll a strength check.
This will go well. 9.
As you try to reach in, the water compresses itself.
I compress it back.
It becomes sort of hard to like push into it.
Oh no.
Yeah, the water becomes suddenly very hard, and it's very hard to reach in. Meanwhile, that little area that's hard extends out a pseudopod and tries to smack Seirys in the face,
Not my face.
and rolls a 23.
That hits.
And it does 14 damage.
I grit my teeth through it.
Seirys, what do you do?
I pull Rourke out.
Strength check.
Is it okay if I use athletics again for this?
Sure.
That is a 19.
You rip Rourke out of the water elemental. A bunch of water sloshes onto the floor of the stairwell. Rourke coughs up some water. Niclaus, what do you do?
So Rourke's free, but Gobsu's still stuck.
Yeah, Gobzu's still floating around, rapidly drowning.
Niclaus will tie one end of the rope to around his waist. Does that take an action or is that free?
I'll give you a free action.
He ties a quick loop around his waist and then he runs and tries to tackle Gobsu out of the water. So he takes a flying tackle.
All right, either do an athletics or an acrobatics check.
Definitely gonna be acrobatics. That is 18 plus 2, 20.
Nice. You triple backflip and you do like the dive into the water elemental.
There's a spin as he goes in to keep the water off of him.
Somebody has like Rourke pulls out a sign that's like 10. And you dive into the water elemental and you latch yourself onto Gobzu. Hyrkir, what do you do?
Okay, I will pull the other end of the rope in a possibly vain effort to help.
Yeah, just strength or athletics check.
Natural 1.
Sorry, I shouldn't have laughed at that.
I apologize to everyone.
It's better than failing it with a not a 1.
The diamond braided rope is now covered in water. It's very slippery. It just straight up slips out of your hands. Meanwhile, both Niclaus and Gobsu are just like bubbles are coming out of their mouths. The water elemental is going to try and smack Seirys again. This time rolling a 25.
That hits even more.
Wow.
This time doing 18 damage.
Might need that healing word sooner than I thought.
Seirys, it's your turn.
Seirys. See, I feel like I had a holy symbol. I don't know what it was. Alright, well, Seirys is going to first take a bonus action to close her eyes and ask her god, Tamara, for more strength. And by that, I, of course, mean that she's using her channel divinity to harness divine power and will regain one of her second level spell slots. And then she's going to turn, and that was her bonus action. So for her action, she's going to turn towards Hyrkir, move over to him and say, you just need to get a little bit of a better grip, like so. And she grabs the rope and like yanks as hard as she can.
Strength or athletics check.
So that'll be a 13.
A 13 does not cut it.
Sad.
Your hands also slip.
Okay, that was a warm-up. That was a practice one. Next time I'll get it for sure.
I believe.
We might need to use teamwork here.
What's that?
Talk about it later.
Niclaus, it feels like you're inside a washing machine, and the water batters you. You take 13 damage,
Ow.
but you do protect Gobzu.
I have a question for you, Joey. A mechanics question for 5e. I'm inside the water elemental, so if I shoot a ray of frost, am I guaranteed to hit it? Because how could I miss?
I don't know, I guess you could fail to cast it correctly or something like that since you're being like thrown around.
True. That does make sense, Joey. That does make sense. I'm disappointed you came up with a plausible reason for why I don't automatically hit, but that's fair. Yeah, so Niclaus will attempt to Ray of Frost, I guess with disadvantage because it's within melee.
It's extra within melee.
Technically within melee, yeah.
Not too bad. 7 plus 8, 15 to hit.
You hit.
Surprisingly, somehow I hit it from inside. Who knew?
You're real upset about that.
Alright, it does 2d8 cold damage, which I'm guessing would be really effective against water. It's 8 cold damage.
You're gonna freeze yourself in there.
You freeze like a little chunk of it. Now there's like a chunk of ice cube floating around in there with you.
So water expands when it freezes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Has no effect. Anyway, continue. The class has no idea if this is helping or not.
Yeah. A part of it is frozen, and the actual mechanical benefit would be that its speed is reduced by 20, but it's not really moving right now. Hyrkir, it's your turn.
Okay, so we've got... Is the rope still there?
Yeah, rope's still there.
I will attempt to pull on the rope once again.
One of us has got to do it.
10.
The 10 does not work.
Madness.
You fumble around with the rope. It's like a whole like comedy skit happening outside as both you and Seirys fail to get a good grip on it. It's like flopping around. It's like trying to like handle a dead, I guess it's like trying to handle a very large flopping fish.
This is how we die.
You take a look inside and Gobzu's not looking too great.
Oh no.
The water elemental is gonna slam Hyrkir this time. Rolls a 15.
That does not hit. Bark skin.
It smashes against your bark skin, and the bark skin is just now like soggy wood chips. But you're otherwise undamaged. It's back to Seirys' turn.
You said part of it's frozen?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm going to try to smash the part of it that's frozen with my warhammer. So I take out my warhammer with 2 hands. And I'm like, here goes nothing. And I take. That's a nat 20.
Oh.
And then I'm going to I get to attack twice, so I'm going to just roll again, see what happens. Okay, that time is not going to hit. That's a 2 plus like 3, so that's 5.
Alright. You zero in on the part of the water elemental that is frozen. And then you whack it real good.
Yeah.
The ice shatters, and water starts pouring out, bringing Niclaus and Gobzu with it. And the two of you plop onto the floor.
Are you okay, Gobzu?
Gobzu's just like...
I try to Heimlich some of the water out of his lungs.
Seriously, you run over and try to Heimlich something, try to CPO. Heimlich is not the right one.
Yeah, I thought about as I said that. I was like, that's not right. I try to push on his chest. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He coughs up some water. Meanwhile, the water elemental sucks up the water that just lost back into it, and then it looms large over the three of you.
Oh no.
And then, out of nowhere, you hear a shotgun blast.
Uh-oh. Oh, wait, that's
a good thing.
my friend.
Smacking into the water elemental. Galazar and Virginia run up. The water elemental turns its attention towards the two of them, and Virginia says, "You guys go ahead, we'll handle this.
Thank you.
And make sure you find Audrey."
I nod at her, and I turn towards Gobzu and Rorik, and I say, you two need to get out of here. It's really bad. Just be careful of the Valdivians out front.
Rourke says, "Well, okay."
Completely forgot that was his voice. It was very shocking.
Maybe you should take this. And he hands Hyrkir a healing prayer magitech. Rourke picks up Gobzu and runs towards the exit.
We still have the fire on the 3rd floor. We should try to get to it.
All right, let's keep going.
The three of you head up the stairs. And you arrive at the 3rd floor hallway, where your apartment and Constance and Audrey and Gobzoo's and Annette and Vince's apartment is located. Farther down, you see a humanoid form made up of fire. And just as it's walking down the hallway, it's like lighting everything on fire. You also see Vince carrying what appears to be a net, and he's running towards you guys. Constance is also down there. She sees the flame elemental approach and attempts to unleash one of her murder painting on it.
Oh, that'll go well.
And it just incinerates immediately.
Do you guys have anything for fire? I don't have anything for fire. I have the Ray of Frost, but that's about it.
I can whack at it.
Niclaus says as he nonchalantly fires a Ray of Frost while maintaining a conversation with the rest of the team.
It flies past Constance, and she's like, oh. Vince carrying a net run past the three of you. And he looks at the three of you and he says, what's going on?
The facility is under attack.
You have to evacuate. Get everyone to safety. Valdivian's outside, so be careful.
Got it. And that is fine, by the way. She's just a very heavy sleeper.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Thank goodness.
Yeah, you take a look in his arms, and Annette is like kerchewing. There's like the snot bubble coming out of her.
Is she still followed by bad luck if she's unconscious?
Surprisingly, no.
It's like it's inverted.
Yeah.
Super lucky.
Yeah, everything gets cleaner, actually.
It's so weird.
Constance also runs towards the three of you guys. And from behind her, we hear some screaming.
Uh-oh.
The fire elemental turns its attention towards it, and it burns down the door to one of the apartments.
Oh no.
And it begins to head inside.
I follow after it.
You run past Constance, and she's like, ugh, what took you so long?
We had to go to a party. It says I run past.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, we rush towards the scream.
Constance runs after Vince and Annette. The three of you head towards the apartment in which the fire elemental entered. And it begins slowly approaching and burning all this furniture toward the three orcish housewives.
Uh-oh.
The three of them are cowering in the back of the apartment.
I attempt to whack it as a distraction.
Oh.
Go ahead and roll your attack.
Niclaus yells, get out of there!
The way the apartment is set up, it's sort of hard for them to run past into the fire.
Just get out of there.
I'll hold it off. Alright, first attack would be a 13. Second attack will be a 25.
Both of them hit.
Do I have its attention?
You can go ahead and roll damage for these.
Oh, okay. Let's see. First attack would be using two hands. So first attack would be 13. Second attack would be, let's see. Should not have used the D100. Second attack would be 5. Yeah, so 13 and 5.
Your attacks just sort of go through it. It's literally just fire. It looks like it does like a little bit of damage, but some of the fire splashes back onto you.
Ouch.
In the first splash, it does 2 damage.
All right.
Second splash, it does 1 damage. Ow. The fire elemental is about 40 feet away from the orcish housewives.
Okay, is it in a hallway or is it...
It's in one of the apartments.
Okay.
Yeah. So like essentially like we have like the doorway, you look inside. The fire elemental is in between you guys and the orcish housewives.
How big is the fire elemental?
It's a large elemental. It slowly creeps forward 10 feet, lighting more of the apartment up on fire.
I would like to do something.
Yep.
Ooh.
You should always do that.
Joey, I would like to do something.
Permission
Oh
to
yeah,
do.
what do you want to do? Tell me about it.
So I'm gonna roll some dice, right?
I'm going to cast Tidal Wave,
Oh,
so it can be up to 30 feet long. I don't know that I want to go that far. I'm not entirely sure of the distance. but basically 10 feet square for it and 10 feet on either side. So each creature in that area must make a dexterity saving throw.
It rolls a 16.
Okay, so it makes the save. Takes half damage and is not knocked prone. So it'll take 2 to 8 points of damage. 7 points of water 7 points of damage. And the water then spreads out across the ground in all directions, extinguishing unprotected flames in its area and within 30 feet of it, and then it vanishes.
The fire elemental, having had literally a metric ton of water splash onto it, is very unhappy, and you have gained its attention.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
It turns its attention away from the Orcish housewives and begins heading towards the three of you, who are, well, actually, Seirys is right up on him. Actually, doesn't that also hit Seirys?
I don't know. I don't know exactly how close.
She's in melee.
I did whack it with my hammer.
It was 83 tons of water.
It's a lot of water. Okay.
There's a small chance, a tiny chance, that it might not have escaped it.
And I'm sure the apartment is completely undisturbed other than being slightly damp.
There's a lot of water. But then the water disappears. It's magic. So.
The housewives are probably fine.
But she doesn't have to
There's
make
like
that
a hot
dex.
moment
She has
where
to make that
everybody
dex
is just
save.
like, everybody's just like floating around.
Oh, yeah.
Should I roll a dex save then?
Yep.
All right. That's a nat 20 plus 1, so 21.
Nice.
Okay. Well, you still take 2d8 damage then.
Noise.
That's 10 points of damage.
Ouch. I'm not doing super great.
Water just appears in the apartment. It's like in Minecraft when you put down a bucket and suddenly it's like the entire room is flooded.
It's just like Minecraft.
Yeah, exactly like Minecraft. Like the water like pushes everybody like out the door.
Whoa!
The Orcish housewives like briefly float around in water for like 6 seconds, and like the fire elemental is also just like completely like almost like extinguished. The water magically disappears and it starts to grow bright again. The three of you are now back in the hallway, and it has turned its attention towards you. Niclaus, what do you want to do?
Niclaus will blast it with a ray of frost, hoping that the cold will be super effective. That is a dice that fell on the floor. This is instead a 14 to hit.
14 hits.
Takes 2d8 cold damage. Takes 8 cold damage.
Your ray of frost flies into it, and it melts. But some water also splashes onto the fire elemental. Meanwhile, it's getting real steamy. The entire apartment is now filled with very hot steam, and it's billowing out, and the fire elemental begins dramatically walking towards the three of you.
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
Niclaus once again he yells, "Get out of there!"
Flee! I yell it in Orcish.
You can't see it, but the Orcish housewives are like running around in like circles. They're having a lot of difficulty seeing, and also the fire elemental is like blocking the door. Except it like leaves. It leaves the apartment.
Niclaus continues to back up as it comes towards him.
Seirys, the fire elemental approaches you and reaches out with its hand. It's going to roll one attack. It rolls a 24,
That hits me.
and it does 6 damage.
Ow.
And you begin lighting your fancy dress begins lighting on fire.
Oh, this is awkward.
From down the hallway, you hear a voice go, "Sir, that's sexual harassment, and that's illegal."
Sir.
Sir.
And you see Officer Udai, Detective Oliver, and an assortment of various other police officers.
I'm like, damn right it's illegal.
"Step away from Officer Alanis or we will be forced to open fire." They immediately start opening fire.
Proper procedure. I like it.
Fair warning given. Fair warning given.
Everybody go ahead and do a dexterity saving
No.
throw.
They're just doing things by the book.
Too real, Joey. Too real.
Except they're not.
I got a 20.
14 for Niclaus.
19.
Yeah, all three of you are able to tumble roll away as the police officers open fire. Which way do you guys tumble?
Back?
Back sounds good.
Towards the police officers, opposite of the police officers, or back into the apartment.
Opposite the police officers.
Yeah.
Or at least that's the way Niclaus goes. Maybe we should split the party. Who knows?
Seirys will roll away from the police officers.
Yes.
Tumble roll.
Since they are also shooting at us. Or towards us. In the vicinity of us.
Yeah. The police officers, like, continue to open fire. They have some real, like, Star Wars aim. Some stormtrooper aim. The Orcish housewives take the opportunity to bolt out of the room and run towards you guys. Meanwhile, the fire elemental turns its attention towards the police officers and slowly begins approaching them. Officer Yudai takes the opportunity to duck and, like, run towards you guys for a hot second.
Do they yell at it, stop resisting?
Yeah, they're like, stop resisting! Sir, you need to stop resisting!
Sir. I love that they're calling it sir.
Officer Yudai rolls up next to you. Officer Alanis, right?
Yes, sir. Officer Yudai, right?
Yes, ma'am. I have something to give you.
Everybody just has stuff for us today.
He pulls out a note, and he hands it to you.
Thank you. Your cooperation's appreciated. I look at the note.
On the envelope, it says, "To Seirys." Meanwhile, he turns his attention back towards the flame elemental, and he starts blasting. The three of you are on the same floor as your apartment, if you need to go get anything.
Yes. Yes, please.
Niclaus goes with them even though he has everything he needs with him.
My friends are all I need.
What do you grab?
I put on my armor.
That takes like 10 minutes.
All right. I don't do that, but I do grab my shield.
Yeah.
Hyrkir grabs his staff.
Well, I grab all my stuff still. I just have the armor with me, but not on.
Seirys, you look pretty badass right now. You have your warhammer and like a police riot shield while you're wearing like a slightly singed party dress.
I'm not screwing around anymore.
Hyrkir, you've grabbed your quarterstaff and you're still wearing these sort of like old-timey fancy clothes.
Yeah, I grabbed my my leather coat, I think. Armor-lined coat.
Niclaus, you look great. Do you flip your jacket inside out, Niclaus?
Yep.
He's a totally different man!
You switched from party casual to normal casual.
Combat casual.
Yeah, combat
Nice.
casual.
Nice.
His shirt collars automatically pop up.
From the window, you hear the continued smashing coming from the Souls Mart.
We head that way.
All right. Soulsmart.
Let's go.
The three of you book it down the stairs and onto the ground floor. You run past the courtyard and head into the Souls Mart. Inside, you see an earth elemental as it lurches forward with its large club-like arms, and it's just like it's just like a bunch of like rocks amalgamated into a humanoid shape. It attempts to swing at a white blur.
It's a Vorpal bunny.
It's a Vorpal bunny. It's Tiger.
Wow.
You see Tiger do some dramatic slides across the floor, blasting some magic every now and then just like jumping around. Tiger tries to run past the earth elemental. It suddenly reaches out
Uh-oh.
and catches Tiger in its arms. And the three of you hear the clunk of metal against a rock. And you see that Audrey has whacked it with a wrench. The earth elemental drops Tiger. Its upper half does a 180 and just like smacks Audrey across the store.
Eee.
And she doesn't get up.
Uh-oh.
Audrey, no.
And now we're gonna roll real initiative.
But for real, for real.
For realios.
Hey guys, it's Joe, your adequately wholesome dungeon master. Hope you guys enjoyed this latest episode of Adequately Advanced Magic. We got just a few more episodes left in Season 2. Join us next week as things get dire at the Business Plaza.